Hi, Krzysztof Onkiewicz. I'm the founder of Event Horizon, and we came with our new project, a second one, Dark Envoy, a non-linear RPG.
So talk about what Dark Envoy is all about. Looks like a Western dark fantasy steampunk world.
So, with our debut title, Tower of Time RPG, we experimented a bit with different stories. We mixed the magic technology. Players liked it a lot, so we decided to continue. And true, it's a mixture of a steampunk, Victorian, English style, and fantasy.
What does that open up for you creatively to have that world of like both technology and magic as opposed to just all technology or all magic?
So it gives us a great creativity. Actually, we're not limited in any way when we create locations, when we think about the quest, the storyline, how it can lead to. So from that perspective, I think if that would be just steampunk or fantasy, players would have certain expectations. Here we can surprise them.
So talk about this world we're exploring. What kind of enemies do we fight? Are there humanoids, mutants, aliens, robots?
So the setting is it's a big continent. It's a big world, two continents settled by the old races. Yeah, so the old races, not typical elves and dwarves, but somewhere akin to that. And then humans arrived here a few hundred years ago, and they started to conquering the lands. So humans represent technology, and the old races represent the magic. So you would fight mostly humanoids. Yeah, you can side with the humans. You play as human characters, so you can side with the human empire, or you can side with the old races. So it will be humanoids. It will be different enemies, beasts, whatever we can actually put our hands on, and whatever we can animate.
We've seen other turn-based shooters like cover-based shooters like XCOM and Wasteland 1 and 2. What is your shooter bringing different to the table?
So first we mix real-time and turn-based. So when you land in a location, it's unexplored, so you explore it in real time. You scout it around. You need to understand what enemies you will face. If you engage the enemies directly, most probably you will lose. So you have to be smart about that. And this is what the real-time part is about. You need to understand their patrol routes, set traps, prepare an ambush, so you can get advantage and eliminate the strongest opponent in the first or second turn. There's a very strong stealth component as well, what we want to emphasize. So I think this is it. On top of that, we want to want to give player ability to impact the environment, restrict movement, put oil, freeze ground, so that would impact how the enemies, what options enemies have.
Can you talk about some of your classes in the game? I see a lot of fun abilities over there.
This is a system that we create from the scratch. We started with Tower of Time, we experimented a lot, and again, feedback was very positive, so we're doing this again. Basically, there are 4 basic class types, but then there are a lot of different specializations, and you can mix the specializations. If you specialize in one class, let's say assassin, and you just follow this path, your end class master assassin will be much stronger than if you mix him with other melee classes or even mage classes. But we just want to give player a full flexibility how he wants to build the party and the characters.
Can you talk about elaborate more on the characters? What are some of our friends that are teammates that are going to be accompanying us on this adventure?
Okay, so the main you start with the 2 characters. Those are your main characters. You can maybe lose one of them if you make bad decisions along the game, and then you recruit other main NPCs that each of them has their own side stories. They will not join all of you. They can have conflicting goals. And on top of that, you can hire mercenaries that will just work for you for money, for share of the loot. So the idea is that as you play, you build a roster of the party, you travel along, and then when you encounter a location that you want to explore, you can pick the party as you want, compose it as you want.
So So you mentioned you can lose one of your teammates. Is there permadeath in this game, or is it just there's that a narrative thing?
So we will have a permanent option that if you lose the fight, that's it. What I was talking about is more a story-wise implication. So you start as a brother or sister, and then the choice is very important for us. So depending on the choice, the world will change. The world will react to your choices. You can go a different path, good or evil. And then if you made bad choices, one of your main characters can actually either leave you or can die permanently. Yeah.
How big is this? Give us a sense of scale. How big is this world in Dark Envoy?
So our goal is to have a lot of things will be generated, procedurally generated. The quest will be generated depending on your alignment as well. So there will be a bit of the grind because it's an open world exploration. So it's really up to the player how he wants to progress. If he wants to explore a given location a bit more, hunt for resources, for items, or he just wants to progress with the main quest. Our plan is that if somebody would want to rush the game, then it would take him about 20 hours to finish the game. But if he wants to explore every single quest line, discover every single character, then it would require probably 2 or 3 playthroughs.
What were some of your inspirations while creating this world? Did you look to any movies, comics, TV shows?
I think, it's hard to say. I read a lot. I read a lot of books, fantasy, science fiction. I think it's a mixture of all the books I have read in the past. Also, I spend a lot of time creating the background for the Tower of Time. So this mixture of technology and magic, talking about difficult things. Tower of Time was kind of a post-apocalyptic setting. So you can say that the inspiration is really a combination of books and movies.
When does the game come out and what platforms will it be on?
So the platform will be PC, PlayStation and Xbox. We aim for the release end of 2020, November. But honestly, we're an independent studio. We will not release the game until we feel it's 110% ready. So as it goes now, I'm pretty confident we can reach November 2020, but we'll see.
Any plans for Nintendo Switch?
Actually, that's a good question.
Let's get the PC one out first and the Xbox one, and then we'll go from there, right?
I mean, at the Gamescom I saw how popular Nintendo Switch is becoming. I mean, there are so many games and it plays fantastic. So I would definitely consider if we can do the port. With Tower of Time, we actually releasing the port to consoles and Switch beginning of 2020. So most probably, yeah, we're gonna do Switch as well.